Welcome to the channel PK 2023. Hope everyone has a good time watching our videos.
Manchester City are carrying the same aura as bitter rivals Man United did in 1999 when they won the Treble. No one can stop them as their 4-1 aggregate win over Bayern Munich suggests. It was at this stage of the season 24 years ago that the idea Manchester United could win an unprecedented treble of Champions League, Premier League and FA Cup began to take hold. The same aura, the same sense of destiny, is hovering around Manchester City now as they surge inexorably onwards towards the semi-finals and the finals and the showdowns that are the elixir of all great sides. Yes, City took a 3-goal advantage into the second leg of this Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich, but the way they survived the battalion of passions that swirled around the magnificent Allianz Arena and protected their lead to run out 4-1 winners on aggregate provided another example of the character as well as the bewitching talent that courses through them. Just as United faced up to the might of Zinedine Zidane's Juventus in the semi-finals of the competition in 1999, so City will confront the sternest test in their shot at history when they take on Real Madrid in the last 4/2 ties next month. The way they stare down Bayern and the fervor of their fans on Wednesday night will only stand them in good stead for that challenge. Bayern, and their crowd, tore into them, and their manager Thomas Tuchel became so consumed by the passions of the evening that he was shown a red card for his touchline antics. City were simply too good and too strong to succumb. Erling Haaland summed up their strength of character. He missed a first-half penalty but responded by putting City ahead on the night early in the second half. It was his 48th goal of a quite remarkable individual season. City conceded a late penalty that was converted by Joshua Kimmich, but the tie was over by then. They negotiated this ordeal by noise, and now they play Sheffield United in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley on Saturday before the Premier League showdown with leaders Arsenal at the Etihad next Wednesday. This was their 11th straight win in all competitions. They are playing as if no one can stop them. Tuchel had insisted before the game that it would take a miracle for Bayern to overhaul City's first leg lead-in, given that he had only won 2 of his 5 matches in charge since taking over from Julian Nagelsmann last month, and that Bayern linked to a 1-1 draw with Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga on Saturday. Few disagreed. Guardiola, who managed Bayern for 3 years and won 3 titles here, knew that City would only be vulnerable if they started playing against Bayern's history and their place in German culture. "I've been here in Bayern," Guardiola said on the eve of the game, "and I know the mentality of the club. It's in the streets. It's in the skin of everyone, and I know they believe they can do it." The City manager's instinct was right. The atmosphere inside the stadium in the minutes before kickoff was electric. A giant banner was unfurled behind one of the goals that read, "With a strong heart, you can fight to the end." When the start was slightly delayed because of a technical issue, the crowd used it to their advantage, ramping up the passion to boiling point. One end of the ground roared Bayern, then the other, so that a giant echo crashed around the ground and washed over the City players as they watched the show. When the whistle finally blew, Bayern swarmed all over City. City are probably the most technically accomplished side in the world. Not much hurries them out of their rhythm, but Bayern and their crowd managed it in the opening 15 minutes. Kingsley Coman got in behind Nathan Ake twice down the Bayern right, but his first cross was hit too high for Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, and the second was cleared by City's defense. City struggled to withstand the pressure, and Bayern should have taken a lead in the 17th minute. Jamal Musiala found Leroy Sane with a brilliant pass that split the City defense, and Sane ran through with only Ederson to beat. He clipped his shot past the City goalkeeper, but it drifted agonizingly wide of the far post. It was a huge let-off for City. It felt like a similar moment to N'Golo Kante's miss for Chelsea early in the game against Real Madrid the previous night. If miracles are to have any chance of happening, chances like that have to be converted. There is no room for profligacy when you are 3 goals down. A few minutes later, City thought the tie had swung conclusively their way when Haaland raced through and was brought down by Dayot Upamecano. Upamecano was shown a red card by referee Clement Turpin, and Haaland celebrated as if he had scored, but then the linesman raised his flag for offside. Upamecano was reprieved. The game was still alive. 10 minutes before halftime, City had another chance to put it out of reach. A shot from Grealish was blocked by Upamecano and, to Bayern's astonishment, the referee awarded City a penalty for handball. After lengthy protestations and Leon Goretzka urging the crowd behind the goal to raise the volume, Haaland stepped up to take the penalty. Haaland doesn't miss, but he missed this time. He blazed his kick high over the bar. A new bolt of energy went coursing through Bayern. Bayern poured forward again, but what they possessed in spirit, they lacked in quality. Time and again, their final ball found a City defender. Time and again, their shots flew high or wide. In the closing minutes of the half, Coman left Manuel Akanji clutching thin air with a sublime turn midway inside the City half, but when the ball found its way to Musiala, he lacked the confidence and the poise to score, and after a bout of pinball in the box, City cleared. Chances for both sides came and went early in the second half. Bayern were leaving more and more space as they searched with increasing desperation for a way back into the tie, and just before the hour, Haaland found himself with room to run at Upamecano, who was having another torrid night. Haaland skipped past him as if he wasn't there and lashed his shot high past Jan Sommer into the roof of the net. His strike carried with it all the venom of past misses. The tie was over. City knew it and Bayern knew it. All that was left were a few details. Tuchel was sent off for his reaction to a foul by City substitute Aymeric Laporte, and 8 minutes from time, Bayern got the equalizer they deserved when Akanji was penalized for handball and Kimmich scored from the spot. By then, City knew they had done their job. They knew they had survived. It will strengthen them for the tests that lie ahead.
The result of 4-1 don't show what really was the two games, from my point of view. I could not expect differently for the fact that how good they are. The physicality, the ideas, the Bayern Munich is always I was impressed when I live with them, and I always impressed when I play against them. But in this competition is the details. And last season, semi-final Champions League, we live the opposite part, and these two games in the right moments, we were there. We were incredibly solid because we defend really well in the boxes. Like, this is the fact that I think we improved the most comparing the previous seasons. I don't feel better than Bayern Munich at all. Like last season when we lost against Madrid, I didn't feel we were worse than Real Madrid. So in the Bundesliga, in the Premier League, 38 games, yeah, the consistency dictates. But these games is a coin. Many things. But today the penalty that was given, so what a penalty. You know, you can be out for this type of penalties. So that's why it's, as a manager for already 12 or 30 years as a manager career and playing 9 or 10 semi-final Champions League, I take perspective of that. So I don't give much credit to just for the fact reach a semi-final or reach a final or reach, because many things are involved, many things. Erling will learn of that, how to take a ball, disappear, get out of the situation, and after make the process, put the ball and hit the penalty. So, but he's 21, 22 years old? 22, Erling. So always for him that he's an incredible machine, and goals, always I feel the pressure. He won it in the semi-final. So I'm pretty sure he will learn for that for the future. And next time when we'll arrive there, he will be more secure and confident to take the penalty.
Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe channel, comment and sharing our video.